Welcome to day 2. As you can see, we've got the main frame up today, and I've got the Y-axis installed. Again, I found that some of the hardware, some of the things they tell you in the instructions don't really match. You really need 2 sets of instructions for this build. You need the ones for the for this one. Scroll up. So that's the Pursa i3 M201, as well as the ones for the i3. I can't find ones that actually match the model I've got. But again, it tells you to put bits in which won't really work. For instance, there's this block under here, don't it? Just here, this aluminium block, and this is 8mm plate. And they say, well, you need 2 10x3 screws. There's 2 tapped holes in this, and have 2 10x3 screws. Well, that only gives you 2mm of thread into this. So I changed that to of the 16mm bolts they put in, because if you just have 2mm into aluminium, you just strip the thread out. Everything else works out quite nice. They just tell you to make a couple of holes to clamp the belt. You just take a couple of holes in the belt, which I did with a little knife. Just made a nick and then push the bolt through, then just clamp it. The other thing they don't tell you to do is to put any washers on anything, which, like here, nothing tells you to ever put any washers on anything, but there's loads of M3 washers come with this, and they're dirt cheap to buy. So when putting all this together, because you're clamping on plastic, you should really put washers behind all the bolts wherever you can. Apart from that, it's gone together very nice. This is quite nice. This bit allows you to tension the belt from the end here. This slides up and down, so that's a very nice feature. The frame all fitted together perfect. I think the only bit I had to adjust was here. This motor just came out too far to this bracket, so I had to just file this hole out a bit. Otherwise, when the motor went in, it was tipping like that. So that was the only other thing. Otherwise, I've not had a lot of trouble. As I say, the only thing is some of the lengths don't seem to match, but I'm not sure all the instructions for the bolts are correct anyway, because of some of them have, say, to tell you to put an M3 bolt in, and then it tells you to put an M4 nut on it, and the hole's obviously M4 and all sorts of things. So you have to use a bit of common sense putting this together. Yeah, you've got these linear bearings. And the version I built before, you had lots of ball bearings all mounted on at different angles around the shaft, and they would all wear flats on the shaft in the end. I'm not sure these are better, because the balls all just run on one line down it, so the balls, I would imagine, would wear into the shaft, but we'll see. But once, you have to be a bit careful putting this large frame up, because it's quite thin in some sections, and you could, being acrylic, if you accidentally knocked it, you could snap it. So if you're going to put this up, you really need to put the supports up as well to make sure it's all held strong, so if you bash it, you're not going to break it. But yeah, so far so good. I'm quite impressed with how it's all fitted together mostly. Nothing too much to adjust, and we'll see if I get time tomorrow. I'll do a bit more.